Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. 2020 Southeast Gassers Association has taken over the Mooresville Dragway in Mooresville, North Carolina. David, my friend, we've got a neighbor from across the pond, Brett Horn, with us here of Reaction Time Media. And I tell you, David, we've got some exciting stuff going on here today, especially after qualifying with Steve Davis taking over that -- 1 qualifying spot and resetting the record.
Just ripping off an incredible run right there, and it is vindication for all the work they've been putting in. You know, his guys are just, they work their tails off, and they've been constantly creeping up on this thing. We saw him take on Kenneth Phillips at London, Kentucky, lost by the narrowest of margins, and now he sets the #1 qualifier. He's got a chance today.
That he does. Brett, I got to get you in here, buddy, if nothing else for the accent, but I got to, you're a long ways from home, but not really. You moved to the States a few years ago, and, you have saturated yourself in a number of drag racing events and other motorsports type things. So you're no stranger to drag racing, but you are a stranger to the Southeast Gassers Association style of drag racing. What do you think so far?
Well, gladly I can say I'm no longer a stranger to the SEGA boys. David's been trying to drag me here since we got here, and I can see why. It's an amazing facility, an amazing event. You guys put on drag racing that I've never seen before. I'm down there without earplugs because they're not pro mods. It'll be all good. You got high wind and small blocks. You got big RPM, big blocks. These guys, they're leaving with the wheels 3 feet in the air.
Yeah, there's no driving aids here, Brett. This is all pure mechanical talent for these guys. Something you may or may not be used to over there, but it's definitely something Quayne Stott brought back to the state.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm a drag racer from heart. From 19 years old, I'm 52. I'm living in America, as you said. Made great friends with David and people like yourselves. Come down to have a look. And as much as I've immersed myself in Australian drag racing, American drag racing, I've never seen anything like this. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah, and you probably never will again. That's why we keep it all for ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining in. Now it's time to get ready for first round of eliminations going into all these categories. And David, what do you say? I think you better get to the announcing booth.
I got to go, guys. I'm going to get fired if I don't.
All right, ready to get started here from Race City, USA, Mooresville Dragway, breaking right into Superstock round number 2. Going to be presented by Hoosier Race Tire, the official race tire of the Superstock division. There is Mark Hackett in the Mercury Poison out of Lebanon, Tennessee. He gets to jump on Dale Morton out of Dallas, North Carolina, into Lucille, 1957 forward. And Brett Horn, that looks like that's all he needs.
Jumped as the Dragway did there. They both really left the ground looking to stop him.
That's what it's about in the Southeast Gassers. There's the world champion Robert Beverly in the 4-speed Stampede, taking on the Kannapolis, North Carolina runner Tommy Luther in the grumpy Chevy Power car in the right lane.
Is that a wagon or a stake?
Oh, that is a big old Belvedere that won the world championship last year, but looks like Tommy Luther giving him all he wants right here. And the hometown boy Tommy Luther putting the world champ on the trailer early. Rick Cathcart in that 1963 Falcon Ventura going to take on Dean Hall in the Sledgehammer, which will be in the right-hand lane here.
That's almost Australian, that Falcon in the left-hand lane there, David. We have a very similar motor car in Australia.
It is a beautiful car. Rick's been working on it for a long time. Look at the jump he gets right there on the start, wheels up in Superstock, and that'll be all it takes for Rick Cathcart to take this win over the Sledgehammer for Dean Hall.
Had the opportunity here in all those gear changes going down there on his own.
Napa Auto Parts bringing you Mooresville Mayhem as we move into SEGAS round number 2. There's George Miller, and you see his opponent was supposed to be Josh Pruitt. Josh Pruitt had a driveline failure right there in that burnout, and George Miller takes the competition single right here, and all he has to do is just take the tree.
So competition single, not a bye, due to the breakage in the actual run.
And speaking of breakage, Larry Noel has a breakage, and he is unable to make the call to place Cynthia Phillips in the flower power right here. And that is a big shot for the flower power to move on to round number 3.
Not a welcome flower, dragging the wheels off the deck, he first and second gear.
Huge matchup right here. Tim Hall in the Scalding Dog Rambler 310 cubic inch motor under that 67 Rambler. And there's a shot inside of Todd Oden's office in the Double X, the 1958 Delray. The wide load on the back right there. Really a contrast in styles. Big cubic inches, big car. Small cubic inches, small car.
Cubic inches of weight play controlling role in the A-gas, B-gas, and C-gas stations.
It sure does, and looks like that big red light plays a controlling role in this round matchup as Tim Hall unfortunately turns on that red light and leaves ever so early.
It looked like it went red before he even moved.
It almost did. And man, what a run for both cars. Listen to him get down the track. Good shot right here, and you can see this run.
Certainly didn't trip those beams with the front wheels. They were dangling 18 inches off the ground.
Look at that margin of victory.
Todd Oden, brother, we're right back to the winning ways from the last one up in London, Kentucky. May have bit the hands at the red light, but it's a win nonetheless.
Yeah, to get past him, a professional, seasoned veteran like him, is great because I was a little bit off today, and boy, I'm telling you, it's just to get that win, that's special right now.
When you say Tim is a professional, that's a mouthful, and I don't know that fully describes him, because that is.
Jimmy Huff going to take on our number one qualifier, Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee, a newcomer in 2020 here, and he is going to be having his hands full with Jimmy Huff out of Loganville, Georgia, in the Hoopty Wagon. What a good-looking 64.
The wagon being built, put in place bug there, David. Another outstanding feature of the Gasser races.
And Charlie Lee with that Chevrolet horsepower inside that Ford Mustang really does a number on Jimmy Huff right there.
Charlie Lee, my friend, you know this is your second race. You've won rounds in London, Kentucky. Now you're winning rounds down here in North Carolina. Boy, you just don't know no boundaries, do you?
I don't know what's going on. Daddy just keeps working on the motor and just keeps getting faster.
Well, you know, that is exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
Well, we'll just leave it as that's what's happening, and that's what it's going to continue to be. So can we just look for you to win the whole race here pretty soon?
We're going to give it a try.
David,
Yep.
he's
We'll be standing right here in this spot to talk to you every round if you win.
All right. Thank you.
I thought I had a chance there because there was not much coming out of the other man. Mitch got me, though, but he let the Chevrolet power do the talking for him in that Mustang.
And here's our B-gas as we move into that Wayne Swafford, our number one qualifier in that 67 Chevy 2. As he just takes it through in B-gas round number 2. We had an odd number of cars, so he received the bye by being the one qualifier. Next up, Ray Fossil out of Dandridge, Tennessee. Going to be taking on Daniel Haynes, the Patriot, out of Holly Springs, South Carolina, in that Falcon in the left lane.
David got 13 pairs, one of them being an odd pair, of course, due to the 26 cars in the first round.
That's right. And Ray Fossil in that busted loose Barracuda, that's been a fan favorite ever since he got out here. But the Patriot with that Bush horsepower underneath the hood. Look at the wheels up first and second gear right there. And the first 60 feet tells the story in this matchup, Brett.
Yeah, Daniel got out on him out of the hole really hard, really strong, wheels up. He wasn't so happy with the in-car footage. We saw him taking his foot off the gas in the shifts lately, but it didn't seem to affect the outcome of that race.
And there's the margin of victory for the Holly Springs.
Daniel Hayes, my friend, it looks like the Patriot is back. 2 rounds under your belt here in Mooresville, North Carolina today. Not quite the showing you had in London, Kentucky.
No, sir, not the showing we had at London, Kentucky, thankfully. That wasn't a very good showing. We had some clutch issues there that took us out. Little car's working real good today. For once, I'm doing my job today. Hopefully, we'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Next pair up, that's TJ York, the winner of our first race in London, Kentucky. Going to take on the dirt man, Rick Varner, out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Essentially a home race for Varner. He's got his hands full right here with that 55 Chevy, the Greenhorn Hillbilly. Oh, and Rick Varner just leaves way early. TJ York got to get a win right here. I know Varner is very anxious to do well in that car. He has been working very diligently on it with his crew. TJ York's got everything going on all cylinders here today in Mooresville.
Mr. TJ York, the Greenhorn Hillbilly, coming off of a fresh victory there in London, Kentucky, bringing that performance down to Mooresville, North Carolina. TJ York, my friend, how goes it here?
I'm struggling a little bit today, just missing the setup, new combination. Got lucky there at Kentucky a little bit and hit it, but we're a little off today, but we're trying to find it. We're going to do best we can with it.
I'm not going to say you got lucky in Kentucky, but whatever it sure was sweet.
Yeah, that was a good weekend. Hoping to carry it on here. We just got to keep working on this old girl and see what we can get.
As I told Daniel Haynes, you got 2 rounds under your belt. I see no reason why you can't make it 3.
We're going to try, sir. We're going to try.
And another great matchup right here. The Atomic Hillbilly of Todd Napier out of Oliver Springs, Tennessee. He's going to get the Freebird, Jerry Birch. There you see his brother Joey right there in the other side with the purple haze shirt on. they are a formidable team for the Hillbillies this time.
Can we talk about clutch, David? He's got his sorted out. These guys leave hard out along with that when they let that clutch up in the full speed.
Perfect example right there. You see it in that shot, and Jerry Burt gets him in the first 60 feet and is able to hold on, but what a good drag race.
4 gears, 3 changes, clutch out of the hole.
And look at that margin of victory.
Jerry Birch, you enjoy the Purple Haze Freebird Chevy too. You know, you just keep carrying rounds with this thing. Surely a victory is in sight.
That's the plan, Mitch. That's what we go for. So we're just gonna have to see. We got some clutch issues. We're gonna adjust on it, and we'll see what it does.
Your nemesis, TJ York, was just here saying that he's having a little trouble today too. So get her sorted out, Jerry. He may be here for the picking.
Yep. That's what we're playing. A little payback.
All right, there's Liberty, South Carolina. Troy Lightner taking on Alfred Adams. Alfred Adams took out Zach Hall in the first round, and Lightner took out Dan Hogan to set up this matchup right here for second round. And Troy Lightner got that car running well. That 51 Henry J getting out of the hole. Been getting some help from Tim Hall, a racer in SEGA. Look at the car. It kind of stumbles off the line. But man, look at that horsepower pickup, Brett.
Horsepower's one thing. There's a whole bunch of guys talking about their clutches. That's something that's started in drag racing.
Troy Lightner, my friend, I don't know if the bacon's a shaking, but I know you got it a frying, my good man. This making rounds in the old yellow hot rod.
Boy, we are, ain't we? I tell you, we're getting lucky and lucky every time. It's just amazing to me. I've been at this for like 3 years, and I've never seen you, and then now I've seen you twice in a row.
You know, we're going to make a celebrity out of you yet.
I know it. You ain't got a lot to work with, but I do my best.
You should see what we do with some of them out here.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. I tell you, we appreciate this Southeast Gassers Association. Making old man's dream come true, buddy. I've been waiting 50 years to do this.
Well, nothing be better said than that right there, Troy. We'll look for you in the next round, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Great looking at those white safety security straps, seatbelts in the car there with Lightner. Number 2 qualifier, Doug Dobbins, making an appearance here out of Campobello, South Carolina. Going to be running Bryant Dalton in the Glory Bound, the 49 Ford, out of Dandridge, Tennessee. And Dobbins was able to take out Travis Owen in the first round. Man, Dalton's got his hands full right here. Doug Dobbins got that medicine man running on mean. There you see his wife Ingrid very pleased with the work right there of the medicine man. Another great shot. Wheels up on the glory bound Bryant Dalton. Listen to these cars come down the racetrack. And Dalton giving him all he wants with that horsepower. Next up, Art Copeland in the Kryptonite, the 41 Studebaker. Going to take on the Campobello, South Carolina drag racer, Mike Blackwell in the Smoking Sam.
Not so much of the wheels up on the lead two days. Get it down the track.
Yeah, a little bit of stumble on the line right there, but look at that power horsepower underneath the hood of that Chevy too for Mike Blackwell.
He's left a fair margin of victory there, that's for sure.
Yeah, a little stumble by.
Mike Blackwell, old Smoking Sam, smoking the competition at least for the first couple of rounds today. Things are looking better than they were in Kentucky.
They are, sure are, yeah. Well, I think I still got a little problem, but I'm going to try to work it out.
So you making rounds? Our son Todd making rounds? Yeah. Blackwell family might be getting things back together.
I hope so. Yeah, it's been rough.
You'll have days like that.
That's exactly right, yeah. That's what makes it fun.
Now we move into A-Gas, round number 2, Napa Auto Parts presenting Mooresville Mayhem. There he is out of Monroe, North Carolina. Steve Davis going to be taking on the Tasmanian Devil right there himself, Gary Klein. Gary Klein in the right lane in the Tasmanian Devil, and there he is, Speedy. Steve Davis will be in the left lane. Speedy, the number 1 qualifier here today at Mooresville. There you see Danny Preston right there in the back tire getting that video for all the research they've done. They have worked tirelessly getting this car ready.
I got a bag for the Tassie Devil being the Aussie in the house, right?
Yeah, Gary Klein, 70-year-old Gary Klein, G4 horsepower under the hood right there, giving him all he wants. Speedy got too much of that Steve Norwood horsepower, 383 cubic inches under the hood of that little Chevy too out of Monroe, North Carolina. Now Now there's a margin of victory. You can hear those small blocks wind.
You know, this thing was super strong earlier in qualifying. Not quite as strong on that pass, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, it's falling off for some reason or other. We're struggling trying to find out what it is, but we keep looking and got lucky and got by Gary that time.
I don't want to put no pressure on you, Steve, but son, you need to capitalize today with Kenneth Phillips going out first round. That opens up a door for you to put a great lead on the points championship for 2020.
Every point counts, and then today will be today.
There's Mike Blackwell's son, Todd Blackwell, in the slingshot. Todd was our B-Gas World Champ back a couple of years ago. And there's Ben Christopher in his brand new race car in the right-hand lane. Christopher out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, campaigned that yellow Anglia for a couple of years out here and decided to build him something with a little more wheelbase.
David, that shot really showed how these are straight axle front ends under these cars. Something you don't see in modern day drag racing.
No, you don't. That's what Wayne Stott did. He wanted to put the driver back in control with the manually shifted 4 speeds. Listen to these cars get down the track. Great shot right there.
Family just making rounds, kind of back in competition. It's been a while.
Feels good, all I can say. After about a year of fighting with it last year and then getting to make some rounds this race, it feels good.
It is a refreshing change, isn't it?
It sure is. Sure as I thank all the people that's pitched in and helped us figure out what the problems is with this car. Hopefully we got it, but you know, we haven't got to race on a real hot day just yet, and that's normally when it shows its face when it's going to. But so far, so good today. Hopefully we make a few more rounds to take it home.
But you know what they say, sometimes it takes a village to raise a child. The race cars is not a whole lot different. So you've got 2 rounds down. I see no reason you can't make it 3. We'll look for you in the next one.
Thank you, sir.
And there comes the next pair up, the Little Red Wagon of Barry Lynn out of Greer, South Carolina. Going to be taking on the Chick Magnet of our 2019 SEGA World Champ, Leslie Horn out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Look at that Chick Magnet. I love the Chick with the magnet on the side.
Hey guys, David, these are our lightest per cubic inch pounds cars at the racetrack, so
yes.
It should be certainly our fastest cars of the day.
Yes, got the big blocks in both of these cars. G-Force horsepower in there for the Chick Magnet and par horsepower under the hood for Barry Lynn. Barry Lynn with the advantage on the starting line. Can Leslie Horn run him down?
Leslie Horn, come on out of there, my friend. You know, I believe maybe you're getting back in control of the old Chick Magnet 55, and as they say, you're going to let it be all it can be.
It's going to be all it can be. This baby, can you believe this? I'm pumping oil on the number 8 cylinder. I went out there and qualifying it, popping and carrying on. I'm having to change the plug between every round. They just set the track record. Get out of here, boy. I can't believe it. Woo!
Well, they just ain't no telling what it'll do if you get all 8 cylinders running loud and clean.
Hey, if I get all 8 cylinders running loud and clean, there ain't no telling.
All right, and there you see Speed Sport Magazine, Ralph Shaheen and his son, Lucas, out here today, taking in all the action as A-Gas continues on. There is the frequent flyer of Alan Galvin, taking on Dean Jonas. Dean Jonas out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, the longtime fabricator with TM Race Cars. He works on his own stuff. He's got quite a crowd in his pit right there. He's tuning his race car before this matchup. There you see Tommy Duffy, his longtime friend and co-worker, right there beside him, helping him get the Agent Orange car, as he calls it, ready to go here for this matchup versus the Swamp Monster. Alan Galvin coming out of Land O'Lakes, Florida.
David, I'm not sure who's working harder, these backup girls or the boys who are wrenching on these cars.
And there you see Jenny Moses helping bring Dean Jonas into the beams, and Sherry, Alan Galvin's girlfriend, bringing him in for that 61 Corvette. There's the 61 Corvette getting the drop on the line. Can Jonas run him down? I don't think so. Alan Galvin for the win right there by a sizable margin.
Alan Galvin, you are back, my friend. You got old Kenneth Phillips, the nemesis, out of the way first round, the 2019 champion, the winner of the last 5 races in a row. You also took the $200 bounty that was placed on him this morning. Alan Galvin, you and the frequent flyer team just may be unstoppable today.
Yeah, I think it was $300.
It might have been. Who's counting at this point?
We're counting everything. We've been struggling.
But we finally got this car running good, so we're going rounds and we're happy.
That is all that matters. I suggest you go get it ready for another round because there is some stiff competition ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. We didn't want Kenneth first round, but it ended up working out like that. But, you know, I can never count my team out. These guys are great.
I'd take Kenneth first round anytime. Boy, talk about making it interesting.
Yeah, that's a little more than I want, though.
We only need one Corvette in the final.
He's a champion for the reason.
And that he is. B-Gas round number 3. Now, this is with having so many cars in B-Gas, it necessitated 5 rounds. So we're calling this our balance round to get caught up to where we can be at the same semifinals all the way through semifinals and finals. And in this matchup, Wayne Swafford, our number 1 qualifier, is going to get Mike Blackwell into Smoking Sam. The funny part about it, these guys are virtual neighbors driving a lot of the same cars. And there they go on the takeoff right there, Brett.
So David, with 26 cars in Vegas, Stock Brothers and the family are allowing all comers to run. It's not a 16-car qualified field.
That's correct. There is no cutoff right now in Southeast Gases. If you take the time to prepare a car, you can bring it and race it. And what a race we have right here on our hands. Looks like Wayne Swafford come out with victor on that one. Here's going to be a great down-track shot. And there the red car is for Wayne Swafford taking the win. Jerry Birch and Daniel Haynes getting ready to get it on the Freebird and the Patriot. There you see Mary Beth Haynes helping the Patriot, backing her husband Daniel up. And the Freebird is Jerry Birch out of Birch Engineering over there in Roebuck, South Carolina. There you see the beautiful Patriot going to be in the right lane this time. And his wife Mary Beth, of course, in her red boots, backing him up. As you mentioned before, Brett, the backup girls do a wonderful job here for us in the Southeast Gas.
Now these being B gases, David, they're carrying 33% more weight per cubic inch than those A gas cars. Yet Daniel's still going to tear the wheels 18 inches to 2 feet off the ground.
That is one of Wayne Stott's strong suggestions, if not a mandated rule, that the wheels get up. And there you see them in the first 2 gears for both of these drivers. And it looks like Jerry Birch is going to come out with a win. But look at that, where the first 60 feet where most races are determined, they're right beside each other. This is going to be a beautiful down-track shot right here to show you a good margin of victory.
Hamlin makes the Billy cart look stable.
Look at that margin of victory, Brett.
Hey,
just
baby,
barely a
got
front
it
end.
on again. Yeah, he had a little bit on me, and we come back around him, and so it was a good day. Good run, good run.
It looks like it may just be another showdown like we had in Kentucky. You and TJ York, maybe?
That'd be good. It's looking that way.
I think he just took that round. You know, you guys are making one step closer to it.
Yeah, I just got to get by Wayne. He's strolling today, too. So
yeah, there is that one guy.
That one guy, that number 1 qualifier.
And the aforementioned TJ York taking on Troy Leitner in two beautiful race cars. The 51 Henry J, the Shake and Bacon out of Liberty, South Carolina, and the Greenhorn Hillbilly, a family tradition in that York family to name your cars the Greenhorn Hillbilly. And there you see Elizabeth Phillips helping out TJ York get ready to get into beams.
David, I don't know what's more impressive, the paint jobs on these race cars or the fact that modern day horsepower and a thing that handles like a 1956 Gray, letting the clutch out, dragging the wheels up, the wheels wobble and shake, and they're doing, we don't know how much, but I'm guessing they're doing 120 plus mile an hour by the end of the month.
They sure are, and those paint jobs you talk about, that's a Paul Vanderpool paint job on the Greenhorn Hillbilly. And look at that margin of victory.
TJ York, I tell you, that old hillbilly ain't too green these days because it sure is making rounds. And, you know, I was just talking with Jerry Birch, and you guys, it could be another showing like it was at London, Kentucky, but as he said, there is that one guy screwing up the best laid plans, old Wayne Swafford.
Yeah, old Wayne, he's sure flying today. We're all trying to catch him, but we'll see what we can do and see who ends up where.
All right, Super Stock round 3 after we get that extra round of B-Gas out of here. Now we get back into round number 3, and it's going to be presented by Hoosier Racing Tires, the official tire supplier of our Southeast Gas Super Stock division. Tommy Luther going to take on the Mercury Poison of Mark Hackett. Already a giant slayer today. Luther has taken out our defending world champion, Robert Peffley, in that 4-speed Stampede.
And David, these Superstock cars got modern suspension. They're like wishbone A-arms.
They do, and that's why you see a lot of the bouncing around. Looks like the Mercury Poison getting the drop on Luther right there. But, man, Luther makes it up by the 3:30 mark. And Tommy Luther takes out the Mercury Poison. There you see a fan reaction. They really love it, this super stock division. And by half a car length, Tommy Luther drives back around.
Tommy Luther, I got to tell you boys driving these Chevrolets is just creating some trouble around here in Superstock. Good job putting Mark Hackett, the last event winner, on the trailer. That ain't no small feat.
I'm going to tell you now, I was dreading that race. Thank God. And I think my engine builder, Stan Staley, giving me a good power plant. This thing is just on rails today. I can't. It's unbelievable. I'm shaking so bad. I'm so happy. I'm grateful for Rick Varner too, giving me a good job and a good race car.
Well, you know, there's great people like that in the world, and Rick Varner is certainly one of them. And hey, I'm sure you're making him proud.
I am. I hope he's proud of me. I'm doing what he wanted me to do, is take out the big dogs, and I'm here and doing it.
I believe you are, and I understand this old car's got a lot of history winning races, and you boy just keep winning more with it.
Yeah, it's an old Grumpy Jenkins 65 Chevelle he built for a guy, and the guy just give it to him. It's got some super stock wins at Cecil County Dragway, so I hope I'm doing the car builder justice with it.
Well, anything that Grumpy touched is just heavenly anyway. We'll just leave it like that.
You said it right.
And speaking of heavenly, Rick Cathcart's got a beautiful car right here. He's going to have a single run right here. But look at that car.
Rick Cathcart, fancy finding you in Superstock, my friend. But nonetheless, you're staying true to that Ford Blue Oval, and hey, you knocked out, I think, a Chrysler already and another Ford already. Third round bye run. You looks like you're on your way to the finals.
Well, it's about time. All I can tell you, this is a harder than people think it is.
I can imagine.
Put the 7-inch tire in some of them. You'll see what'll happen.
Well, I know back early on in the year with testing, you was very pleased. I'm going to assume you still are.
Oh, yeah, very pleased.
And moving into our C-Gas competition, again, sponsored by Napa Racing, there is Cynthia Phillips, and she's going to be taking on the Falcon Crazy of George Miller out of Indiana. There you see Tom right there in front of the car, letting Cynthia know when it's time to go.
There's a very pretty car, that Flower Power, David, but it's not be deceived by the name. It's got plenty of power, not too much flower.
Well, that is a very fitting tribute right there to Cynthia. She's as beautiful as a flower. And the Falcon Crazy right there, George Miller. These guys make a trip from Indiana to every race, and he ain't fooling around here. But look at that. That's a great race right there. Miller goes a little bit toward the left, has to bring it in, and Cynthia Phillips takes the win right here. And what a win she gets, as she is just keeping the car straight, doing a wonderful job driving, and that horsepower pushed Miller out of the groove just a little bit. And there you see Tom. He really celebrating along with Quayne Stott, the longtime companion of Cynthia Phillips, and she's been right by his side all through his pro mod days.
Cynthia only went an eighth of a mile, David. The other guy went a quarter mile. That's why she won.
Yeah, she was able to keep that thing straight, and she's going to move into the finals right here in Mooresville today. What a great show of sportsmanship by Falcon Crazy team right there.
Get a good look at how far that Falcon went out of the groove there.
Cynthia Phillips, you just put one of the big boys, in fact, one of the Miller boys on the trailer, George Miller, the Falcon Crazy. Oh, Flower Power is just strutting its stuff today.
Yes, she's running fast. I just got to do some improvement with my driving. But I didn't even know I won that round. I thought surely I red lit or something. I didn't know.
Yeah, you come up here with quite the surprise.
I have never won 3 rounds, I don't think.
Well, you have today, and I think you may be just one from the finals, so we'll be waiting to see you in the next round.
Yes, sir. You'll see me in the finals. Whether I win or not, I'll be there. I feel like I've already won.
Well, good job. We'll look for you there.
So good to see her having that excitement in victory lane with that interview with me. Another couple of hitters right here. There's Todd Oden, our 2018 world champ in that 1958 Del Rey. He's going to take on the newcomer this year, Charlie Lee Jr., driving that car with the Chevrolet horsepower in a Ford Mustang coupe.
David, I'm in the South, so I might get in trouble saying that's how you make all good Fords go fast, right?
You're going to get in trouble with me, young man. But look at the whole shot right there as he puts it on Todd Oden, the first 60 feet really made the difference in that run. And you see the win light come on for Charlie Lee right there. That's a very impressive margin of victory considering.
I don't know what you got, but I want me some of that. I got to tell you, brother, you have just come in here. Ain't nobody got nothing for you, even the great King Kong Todd Oden himself.
All right. There's a little better matchup that time.
That was a matchup, but that's my point. You come out on top, Charlie Lee. I mean, what's next? I mean, like, just to conquer the world?
I don't think we'll go that far. I mean, we'd like to win the next round, though.
Well, I think if you do, that just might make you the champion of the day, and you got one Flower Power 56 Chevrolet in the way, and, here you have the problem. If you get beat, you get beat by a girl, and if you win, then they accuse you of beating up on the girl.
Right. It's a lose-lose either way.
But don't let that get in your way. If you can take her out, put her on the trail.
Oh, I plan on it.
Now we get ready for the kings of the sport of the Southeast Gassers, our A-Gas competition. Going to be a good matchup right here. Leslie Horn out of Boiling Springs going to take on the slingshot of Todd Blackwell out of Campobello, South Carolina. There you see Scenic Tool and Stamping on the side of that car right there. Superior paint and body for the slingshot.
David, not only the cars are period, the officials are period, guard railings are period. I mean, the rules here SEGA really make it back to 1967, as you guys say.
I think we're making a fan out of you, if I'm hearing correctly here, Mr. Brett Horn.
Those wheels up launches and it wiggling all over the racetrack, and these boys staying in it. I'm a fan for sure.
Speaking of staying in it, both these guys doing a great job getting down the racetrack. Listen to them in these high winding cars. And Leslie Horn in the chick magnet.
Leslie, I don't know if it's a chick magnet or not, but it sure is a bad hot rod. I got to tell you, this thing just taking out the big dogs, and there goes one. Them boys right there, them Blackwell boys, they ain't exactly slow.
Boy, everybody is tough. It ain't just a Blackwell, this is everybody. But I'll tell you what, this thing has almost been like a freaking bracket car these last 3 rounds. I mean, perfect. Hit the gear shift, clutch shift just perfect. I mean, if you hit the clutch just a little bit too much in this thing, it'll go left or right. But it's just been perfect and everything works perfect. I can't thank Johnny Hightower enough. Gene Fulton come on, got my butt earlier. Said, no more bunny hops, no more dry hops. Don't do that. So I can't do that no more. So,
well, it looks like to me you might want to tell Gene to make those other 7 cylinders pump a little oil. Yeah. That's only what I can tell from an observation.
Yeah, the more oil you get in there, the more compression it builds.
I don't know about all that, but here's the swamp monster, Alan Galden, in that 61 Corvette, going to be in the left lane, taking on our number 1 qualifier here today, Steve Davis. And there you see Danny Preston right down there getting with the action alongside that right rear tire. CNC tool you see right there on the back, and U.S. Bonding helping that Steve Norwood horsepower in the right lane. What do you think of that launch right there, Brett?
2 lanes of wheels up, a little bit of wheel spin in the left-hand lane from the Corvette, but I think he's managed to still turn it into a win.
He has really straightened that car out today and got that Corvette back in its winning ways with that Par race engine under the hood.
That front-on shot, you really see him bouncing and dancing around.
Sometimes when the old swamp monster climbs up out of those Florida swamps, the A-Gas competition better take notice.
We thank God for that round win. We've been struggling, but we're happy. We're going rounds, and we got one more round to go.
All right, we're going to sit right back into B-Gas round number 4. There's TJ Moore. He will be on a single this time. And there you see wheels up first 2 gears for York.
Sometimes we got to work and beat our way there, but occasionally it's great to get a bye into the finals, and it looks like it's going to be another matchup of you and that Freebird.
Looks like it's been me and Birch again there. Yeah, it's going to be another heck of a drag race here. This has been a good weekend. This has been a lot of fast cars in B here today.
You said that, no doubt about it, TJ. As you said right there is you in the finals, Jerry Birch in the finals, just taking out Wayne. This is, you 2 guys are shaping up to be the class act of B-Gas.
Well, I'll tell you what, old Wayne there, he's flying. He had all of us this weekend. Jerry must have got him good, so.
Well, sometimes you can win a drag race on the starting line.
That's for sure.
David, even though we had a bye there, he still drove it out the back looking for lane choice. We don't see the times on the board. I know we've got another car in the lanes now. That's important to the fans. He wants to stay in that right-hand lane today.
He really does, and you're right. The fans, that's what they pay their ticket to see. We do understand that, you take the light sometimes and just cruise on through, as we've seen some people do today. But the fans come here to hear those small blocks winding, to see those gears being shifted, and to see those front wheels in the air. And speaking of in the air, Jerry Birch just tattoos Wayne Swafford to the tree right there, and he takes out the number 1 qualifier. And there you see his brother Joey really excited about that. In-car shot right there from Wayne Swafford. You can see him trying to work the wheels.
Jerry, I'm not going to go so far as to say that was an unthinkable win, but that was a challenging win, I know.
It was. He's been running good all day, qualified number 1. He's a super nice guy. I mean, just known him a long time, but she came through. My old baby came through.
None of that nice stuff has nothing to do with winning a drag race.
Exactly. Had to turn all that off for this one.
Exactly right there. As we move into Super Stock Finals, there's no friends from the burnout box to the turnout lane. Hoosier Race Tire is going to be once again presenting here in our Super Stock category with that specially built 7-inch tire. Tommy Luther and Rick Cathcart getting ready to get it on right here in the finals. The Ford versus Chevy right here, classic matchup.
Now, has the Ford got a Ford in it this time, Dave?
The Ford has a Ford in it. That's a true blue oval man in Rick Cathcart over there in the left lane.
Well, I guess the smart money's going to be on the Chevrolet. Let's see what happens.
Well, it looks like the first 60 feet goes to Rick Cathcart. Something happens with Luther. You see some smoke trailing out the right side there.
Now, that's what I get for putting my money before my mouth. He did not do the Chevrolet bow tie that much quality right
and what a win for Rick Cathcart, taking his first win ever in SEGA racing, and it's right here in Superstock at Race City, USA, Mooresville Dragway.
It used to be that Superstock was dominated by Mark Hackett and Robert Peffley, Chryslers and Mercurys, but today Rick Cathcart wins his first Southeast Gasser Association event and does it in Superstock.
Thank you, my friend. Thank all these guys. They're tough. It's the best class out there right now, big boy. And I'm coming back, my friend.
So this you don't think will be your last win?
Oh no. We're after it this year.
So the days of Robert Peffley and Mark Hackett dominating are over?
I didn't say that. No, I'm not putting that jinx on my ass. Not going to happen, my friend.
So the days of Mark Hackett and Robert Peffley are in trouble.
That's it. That's more like it.
So the first Gold Cup goes to a Ford, David.
It sure does. SEGA Finals, again, presented by Napa. We're so glad to have them on board with us here at Mooresville Mayhem. Charlie Lee, our number 1 qualifier, taking on Cynthia Phillips in the Flower Power. And this, it could be a monumental one. It's going to be a first-time winner either way you go right here.
David, I know it's not time correct, but it almost looks like I'm in a Donald Long race. There's that many people on the start line.
Yep. Southeast Gassers continues to grow. The following continues to get better and better. And there you see Tom White right out front of that Flower Power in his tie-dye shirt. He has been on board since day 1 with Cynthia. He taps it right there and says, "You're good to go, girl."
Maybe we need to say that Donald Long is actually taking after the SEGA gases, not the SEGA gases after Donald Long.
Yeah, probably.
This is the way drag racing used to be and should be.
We are the pioneers. We want to take you right back to a 1960s drag race. And look right here. Since at our first ever finals right here on the starting line against the number 1 qualifier, Charlie Lee.
So Chevrolet's going to win. It just may be in a Ford.
It may be in a Ford chassis or a Ford body. Wheels up in second gear for Cynthia Phillips. Let's see what it turns out to be at the start, at the finish line.
I think the Mustang up the win line, David.
I think it did. I love this angle right here. You look like you're sitting right in the stands with our crowd.
First ever finals right here on the starting line against the number 1 qualifier, Charlie Lee.
Is this an old school modern day burn down?
Lead the left lane.
Do we have a stopwatch here or do we use a sand on?
Well, we're just trying to get everything right because you got to have these cars at the right RPMs before they take off.
David, it's got nothing to do with the RPMs. They're playing with each other's heads.
Here you see Charlie Lee, his 60-foot time, really impressive right there. And he takes the win in that left lane and gets his first ever cup.
I'd like to see the time slip. I think his mind game's played into exactly the way he wanted them to play.
Well, we're not going to see any time slips here today, as dictated by Mr. Twain Stott. As he says,
Normally, I'm accustomed to saying it's been a long time coming for a win in the Southeast Gassers Association, but not for you, my friend. 2 races, and you've already put this thing in the winner's circle, and you may just be leading the points. I'm not sure exactly where it's at right now.
Thanks a lot. We've been working really hard.
Obviously, you and somebody's been working hard. Maybe you alone, maybe somebody else. Regardless, this machine is flying.
Oh, it's running good. Yeah, no complaints about the way it runs.
So you saying that the only thing a Ford was ever missing in life was a Chevrolet motor?
Pretty much. That's about all they're missing right there.
So if it hadn't been for a Ford motor, all Fords would be fast.
All right.
Congratulations, Charlie Lee Jr. You know, I'm not going to say I was expecting to say congratulations on a win this early in your SEGA career, but congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
And now we move on to our B-Gas finals, where we find the Greenhorn Hillbilly of T.J. York taking on the Freebird and Jerry Birch. Earlier in the year, some of the comments that was made by T.J. York, he said, in the offseason, I specifically went to my motor builder and told him, this is the car we have to beat, the Freebird. Now, they met in the finals.
In there with a short, shallow
They met in the finals up at our London, Kentucky race, and we find them in the finals here again at Mooresville Dragway in race number 2.
So, David, without time slips, we can't tell the fans watching how much of the work at a start line gets done with their left foot rather than their right foot.
That's only to be experienced when you come out and watch a Southeast Gasser Association race. And truly, it is a race that looks like a car show because the cars are so beautiful.
As a first-time venture, I could not agree more.
York goes in first. There goes Birch. Oh, Birch lets the left foot slip off the clutch just a little early, and T.J. York gets the win right here. T.J. York can't say it's not putting a little bit of pressure on that Freebird. Freebird's been a winner at least 13 times in his Southeast Gasser
T.J.
career.
York, my friend, you are just unstoppable at the start of this season. This virus thing must have been wonderful for you.
I'm telling you, the good Lord is on my side, and Joanne Slagle, she passed away this year, and she's, I think she's riding with me. So, this is awesome. I just can't say enough about it. I mean, this is absolutely awesome.
I got a couple of things to remind you of, and just maybe you can continue to say your prayers. I'm sure you can there, TJ. But I'm going to remind you that is 10 rounds of direct straight wins, 2 race wins in a row, 10 rounds of competition won. TJ York, you are a man on a mission. Congratulations.
Like I said, I got the good Lord above's helping me. It's just not me. I'm getting help with this. This is. I don't even know what to say, Mitch. I just really don't.
Just say, I'll be back for a third one.
I'm going to try.
Congratulations, TJ York. Not so green anymore.
Thank you, sir.
Moving into our A-Gas finals, there you see Alan Galden into Frequent Flyer out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. Going to take on Leslie Horn into Chick Magnet, that 1955 Chevy out of Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Great matchup right here. Horn's got the 477 cubic inch horsepower of Gene Wolf, and the Frequent Flyer has 477 cubic inches of Scott Duggan's car racing under the hood.
Now, David, we have a record setter in this round.
Yes, Leslie Horn did. You heard him mention earlier in the video. He is the ET record holder right now for our A-Gas category.
Now, those of us in the know what that ET is, but of course, as you said, by SEGA rules, nobody else does.
That's right, and it's quite a movement it is. If you knew how fast these cars are really going, they're getting upwards of 130 miles an hour, I can tell you that.
So being our fastest category, setting the record, that is the quickest car in the SEGA history.
Officially. Love this angle of this shot right here. I'll let you listen in, folks. Great leap. Oh, Leslie Horn getting out of shape with the rear end of that car. And you see that oil burning out of the car right here. Look at this angle right here. Sitting you right in the bleachers with him.
He was telling us earlier in the interview at the top end that he didn't get the clutch quite right. It went left or right, and it certainly went left and right on that pass.
Look at this shot right here. You can see it in real time. And we slow it down to show you Alan Gaulden in the frequent flyer out of Land O'Lakes, Florida, takes the win right there. What a win for him.
That was the strike that was all decided before they'd gone 60 feet.
That you're exactly right. And man, a day that they struggled in qualifying. They had Kenneth Phillips, the guy who won the world championship at AGAS last year, with all the battles he had with the frequent flyer. They took him in the first round, and here he is.
As fast as it is, it better to have good brakes, my friend. Alan Gaulden, congratulations. You finally got the old Corvette back in the winner's circle. Good job, my friend.
It's been a long time, brother. Woo, it's been a long time. We had a mountain to climb today. Every one of these guys is fast, and every one of them is sharp on the tree.
Yes, they are.
And we had about every mountain in front of us you could think of today. We overcome clutch issues, engine issues, electrical issues, tire issues, driver issues. Woo! But my team did good. I'm proud of them. Everybody came together at the end, and just thank God and give him the glory, the honor, praise, and I'm just happy we're back in the winner's circle.
Well, you know how it is. The taller the mountain, the greater the victory.
Oh, you ain't kidding. It was a mountain today, brother. Woo!
Well, all I can say, Alan, is congratulations. As you said, it's been a long time. This dates back to last year. Kenneth Phillips, others was in your way, taking shots at you. You guys fall into trouble. Just one thing after another. Next thing you know, but hey, perseverance always pays off.
Oh, yeah. It started the last race last year. We had a shock lock up. It cost us the race, and we've been fighting this thing ever since. But we're coming around. We're happy to be in the winner's circle.
I believe you are. I'm going to see you in the winner's circle.
Amen. All right. Woo!
Mitch thought we come in here to Mooresville Dragway. Hard to top London, Kentucky, but doggone, I believe we did. What a great day of racing.
I would have never believed this would have turned out like it did, David. Mooresville, North Carolina is certainly a mecca of automobile racing, but not necessarily drag racing, but today it was. And I got to say, we had new winners. We had double up winners. I mean, and the competition was just fierce, man. And the crowd, with all that's going on in the world today, the Southeast Gassers fans, spectators, supporters continue to amaze me.
Every time I walk through the pits or the grandstands or any of that area, they all were saying, "Thank y'all so much for not just bailing," because everything's just closing and bailing. Yeah. They wanted to be here, and they showed up, and they did what they said they were going to do.
Oh, I'm running cameras all day long, and I'm having to weed through people all day long. It's just, while that may be aggravating from trying to get from point A to point B standpoint, the reward of knowing those people are coming out and enjoying what we're doing is amazing. I had a gentleman here from Pennsylvania. This was his first race he come to, and he said, "You have ruined me to any other form of racing, especially drag racing, because this is true drag racing, David."
And what a high compliment that is to get from someone like that who has driven hundreds and hundreds of miles to be here to witness this type of racing. And the show we put on for him today, got to talk about Superstock, got to talk about the parity in that class, and talk about Rick Cathcart putting a Ford in the victory lane.
Finally that is true for Rick Cathcart. He's been racing with us for a number of years in C-Gas category, never capitalized a win there, but come into Superstock in only his second outing in Superstock. He's put a win on the board. He done it with a Ford. Now, mind you, some people may confuse Mark Hackett with a Ford, but he claims it to be a Mercury. So nonetheless, that's the first Ford in the Superstock winners, and the Chevrolets are oh so close, David.
They are. Tommy Luther gave him all he wanted in the finals. Luther got a little out of shape, and Rick Cathcart had that car going straight, and that's what caused him to take the win.
Hey, it don't matter how you get them. If you get them, take them, brother.
Well, and you move right on to C-Gas, and Charlie Lee coming in here, second race he's ever run with the Southeast Gassers, he takes a victory.
Charlie Lee is without question one of the most unique guys I've ever tried to do an interview with, and he said one of the funniest things to me down there. He said his wife fussed at him about the last race. I'm not going to say what she called him, but nonetheless, he's quite the character. And David, as I told him, I said, generally, Charlie, I have to say to a new Southeast Gassers winner, it's been a long time coming, but not for you, friend. 2 races that you've contested in the Southeast Gassers, and you have already put one in the winner's circle.
That is true. I mean, he talked about his dad built the motor, had another guy help him with the car. He said it makes it easy. All I got to do is get in there and hit the gears.
And and that's about all you're going to get out of Charlie, which makes it just equally as comical. But he done it at the hands of Cynthia Phillips, and Cynthia didn't win, but by golly, she took her to the finals. Congratulations to Cynthia.
First time ever for her. As we move into B-Gas, a repeat winner with TJ York, actually a repeat finals with the Freebird taking on the Greenhorn Hillbilly of TJ York in both finals. And I find that ironic that over the offseason, TJ York specifically said, that's the car we have to beat. He told his motor builder that, and that's who he's had to beat in these first 2 wins this year.
And that is what makes it ironic, because as I said to him in Kentucky, be careful what you pray for, because you just may get it. And I think, boy, you got it. And you got to know, not taking nothing from TJ, because congratulations, TJ. That's 2 wins in a row, 2 race wins in a row, 10 rounds of competition won in a row. But don't you just know that Jerry Birch and Joey is stewing and tuning on that Freebird.
Well, and the Freebird tried all he could, but it's too much today for the Greenhorn Hillbilly. And the car that we're standing in front of, Mitch, man, it rebounded really nicely. They battled some gremlins all day long, but this frequent flyer came from a 13th qualifying position, did not qualify well at all. Knocked out some heavy hitters, and one of them being Kenneth Phillips in the first round, taking that bounty.
David, I'm going to correct you in one way. They ain't nothing but heavy hitters in A-Gas, and son, they marched their way all the way through. The old adage, I've seen sicker dogs get well, but not quite this well, definitely applies to these guys from the Florida swamps. I'm here to tell you, I didn't give 5 cents for them winning this race today, especially with the level of competition, but never count them out. As I told Alan, you drag this thing up out of the Florida swamps, and boy, people better never count you down.
There's no doubt there's some bite back in this swamp monster, and he's going to make a run in this 2020 series.
I don't think there's no question about it. He was right there number 2 last year and fell to the hands of Kenneth Phillips. Why is anybody's reason? Doesn't matter. The fact is he did. So there's revenge in their blood. It's coursing in their veins. So that only makes the racing that much more intense. And buddy, I tell you, if it gets any more intense than this, I may have to carry an oxygen bottle around with me or something. This has just been amazing.
It has been a great run so far in 2020, and we're in the infancy of the season. Yeah. Next up, we go to Lyons, Indiana at the end of July, and that has always been a great race for us. And having averaged over 80 cars at these first 2 events, maybe we get to 100. Who knows?
I've just quit counting. I've quit procrastinating. I've quit prognosing, and that ain't even a word. The Southeast Gassers just confuses me and impresses me every time we go somewhere. And so why should anything else be any different? You take everything that's going on in the world today, as we was talking earlier, the crowd of people that's here, the enthusiasm, the excitement, man, Southeast Gassers Association is where it's at.
It is, Mitch. And as we wind down here, Mitch, I'd like for you to take us out of here.
David, I said the prayer in the driver's meeting this morning. I will certainly take us out, my friend. Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you in Jesus Christ's holy name, and we can only praise you and thank you, Father, for the day we've had, the safety we've had, the competition we've had, the camaraderie, the friendship, everything that's gone on, and the complete and positive growth of the Southeast Gassers Association. Dear Father, we know that comes directly from your touching hand, Father. We ask for the safety and protection of everyone as they leave here and go home tonight, and we pray, Father, that every one of them finds their way into your house tomorrow and goes to you, dear Father, in prayer and in thanks. For in Jesus Christ's holy name we pray. Amen.